Welcome to Inside Gamecast. I'm glad to have you all here. My name's Jared. I'm one of your hosts, and then my lovely co-host.
Hey guys, I'm Dower. My last name is I go with Dower. Dower is my middle name. I go with Dower Hassan. So yeah, nice to meet you all. I'm glad to be here.
So today we've got some brand new things. By the way, we're a brand new podcast for the first new
Very
thing,
excited.
and so we thought we'd go off with what we've been playing this week. What have you been playing, Dower?
Uh, Yesterday, thanks to your recommendation, I tried demo a couple days ago for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and I just picked it up yesterday, and it's pretty awesome. Ubisoft, I haven't had a good game from them, I guess, forever. The last game I really enjoyed by them was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And even Valhalla too, but Odyssey was the last game that blew me away, and this one is phenomenal. So far, I've only played for a couple of hours, and I can see it's gonna get better. I think so. I don't think so. It's gonna be the gameplay is fantastic, stylish, and stories is okay so far. But I like I said, I think it's just gonna get better, and I'm excited for it. So yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
Anything else you played this week, or is that just really what you've been focusing?
In terms of new, no. I would say on the other hand, I'm giving another chance to Hogwarts Legacy. It's not really my thing. I've never been a Harry Potter guy when I was a kid, and still not, I guess. And the world itself is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I like the college school and everything. It's just like I just can't connect with anyone in that game, to be honest. And I'm a big gameplay guy. Like I prefer, satisfying gameplay. Like I mean, the gameplay has to be satisfying. I think it's good what that game has to offer. But just for my sake as a gamer, like someone from a distance, I think it's just okay. Like I said, the presentation, characters, and everything else, the story, I believe for the fans is great. Not for me. But I'm still giving this game another chance. I'm like 8 hours in, and I'm going like level 14 right now in that game. I just recently got to figure out how to fly with that broomstick, and that's pretty dope. And another game that I'm playing right now is another game that I'm giving a chance, a second chance, and it's Horizon Zero Dawn. This
Mm.
is weird. This is it's so weird. So I'm like 44 hours in that game, and I still like not clicking with it for some reason. But the only reason I keep playing is, like I said, I'm a big gameplay guy. I like the gameplay on Horizon, but I think Aloy and the story itself, I think it's just there's some disconnect in that game. In my humble opinion, and I know it's one of the biggest PlayStation game. We just recently saw a report that said it sold like 25 million copies, like the most sold PS4, PS5 game in the last 10 years or so. And I'm like, I see why, but Aloy as a character in that game, I don't know. They could have done a better job in there. Like
Yeah,
put some
yeah. I like her actually in the DLC. Um, the DLC, like I think they fleshed her out better in the latest DLC. The fire one that takes place in what is
Wait, are
it?
you talking about the sequel or
The
the
sequel.
Horizon
The
Zero
sequel.
Dawn?
Yeah. Well, both of them. She kind of has that same through both of them. But I like the personality she gets kind of starting the second one. But it really gets fleshed out in the final DLC they recently released, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And another reason, sorry to cut you off if I did, I'm sorry.
No, you
But
can
another
always cut me
reason,
off.
yeah, another reason I'm playing that game again is just I want to beat it because I really want to experience the sequel. Because it's I think from a distance I see it's the only true next gen game. Like the visuals that I see in that game, they're just like mind blowing. So I want to experience that game. The what's it called again? The second one, Horizon Forbidden West. I'm
Yep,
sorry,
Forbidden
totally
West.
forgot about that name. But yeah, I just really want to experience it. I want to see how it like evolved from
Burning
the last
Shores is
game.
the DLC. Sorry.
Burning Shores. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I beat it, and then I can experience the sequel. I really want to try the sequel and see. And I think it's available on PS Plus, uh,
Yes, it is.
catalog, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
DLC
yeah,
is not, but
we
the
have to
base
buy
game
it.
is.
So I don't even have to buy it. I could just like go and just play it because I'm a member, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I recently like. This ain't my most recent game, but that's how I recently experienced Ratchet and Clank because they
Rift
had.
apart.
Yep.
I
So
got you.
like I normally wouldn't buy Ratchet and Clank because as I've gotten older, I just grew out of like old fashioned platformers, and
Got you. Got you.
this one, that one, just like it was just like everyone says it's next gen. I gotta try it. So when I picked up my PlayStation not too long ago, I was like, all right, that's on my first list to play, and like I went down the list, went back and finished because I actually had probably like I think maybe 2 or 3 hours in, stopped playing Horizon Forbidden West. One is it was still all the glitchy when it first came out. It's like I'll just wait until it's more stable. And then when I got my PS5, that was one of the games I jumped right in.
Well, when was that? Like 2 years ago, or like
Uh,
recently?
I actually only got my PS5 back in May of 2023.
Yeah.
So
Got you.
I waited
Got you.
on it.
Oh shoot! When you
Yeah.
said last year, 2023, I thought we were actually in 2023 right now for a second. Seriously, I forgot we were in
Uh,
24.
yeah, we
It's
just
just a
crossed
lot.
that hump last year in 2023.
My God.
The
Man,
only reason I never upgraded it, just because I wanted, I just didn't have the money at the time. So,
gotcha.
but I finally did, and but I really enjoyed it. Now, but
That's good, man.
for what I've been playing this past couple weeks, well, past week or two, is I recently, for Christmas for myself, I picked up my first VR headset,
Um,
and
go ahead.
um,
No, go ahead.
let's see, and I have been playing Asgard's Wrath, which I've had a couple of glitches, a little bit where I'm getting stuck in God mode, but they're getting ready to release a patch to fix that. And then I also played through Half-Life Alex. That
Gotcha.
is the best. I would say that is a kind of a true next gen game, even though it's not on console. It's a PC game.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it is the first time that I've actually really enjoyed a VR game outside your basic what people would call shovelware games like Beat Saber or Fruit Ninja, just those little fun like 5 minute games to kill time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then I beat Final Fantasy 16 this week.
Gotcha. Did you enjoy or no? Because I
Uh,
really liked it.
16, it's not my
No.
favorite Final Fantasy, honestly.
No,
I beat
yeah.
it, and I like Clive as a character. He's
Uh-huh.
the main
Yeah,
reason.
he's pretty awesome.
Jill,
Yeah.
like the storytelling in it is why I kept playing it. But
But you didn't like the gameplay?
the gameplay was not Final Fantasy to me.
I, sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. I can't say anything to that because the only Final Fantasy game I played besides that is Final Fantasy VII Remake and 15. And
Remake's
the
close enough. I actually enjoyed it.
the 7?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So 16 is the only Final Fantasy game that I've beaten, like from start to finish. So I've only played three. Actually, I played four. I played one of those 13s. I forgot which one. I think it was Ride the Lightning or something like that. And I
Yeah, the
got
last
lost
one.
in that game. So, because I didn't know, they had no clue what was going on back. So I dropped that. 16, I heard from people, like, if you're a fan of like Devil May Cry type of a game, you got to give that game a shot. And I heard like if you're also into good music, like video game music, and want to play it for the music, for gameplay, and just for stylish presentation, for the boss fights, give this game a try. I bought it during Black Friday, and I think it was a great investment for me because I really enjoyed it. Except for a few parts, it's long cutscenes. I'm not a fan of that. But besides that, it's a pretty solid game. I would say it's like 8.5 out of a 10, or like, yeah, 8.5 out of a 10. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
I can see that. I would give it close to a 7.5 just because um, I felt that it was very repetitive with the gameplay. I do enjoy good gameplay, and I felt at
Uh-huh.
times, which is the same thing that happened with the first Final Fantasy 13, not Final Fantasy 13 2 and 3, is sometimes you just get stuck in these fight loops over and
Uh-huh.
over again, and to me it gets so repetitive and slows the game down.
Mhm.
Like, and we're opposite there. Like that's probably what you like the best. Like you could keep going forever. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
I don't know if you have a minute or not, but quick question: which Final Fantasy game would you recommend to? Which is your favorite Final Fantasy game? Yeah, I guess.
I would recommend them all to anybody.
Oh,
Even the ones I don't like. Um, but my favorite is Final Fantasy 12.
well,
Or
gotcha. I
Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age is also the other name for it.
gotcha.
So
And most of it I've heard from people is like seven or like the 9 or 10, something like that. Like those are like the ones that I mostly hear from people like that. Those are like their favorites. And 13 from a few of them, and then 14. I'm not so sure what happened in 14. I think it sounds like to me from a distance that it's just an online multiplayer
it
game.
is.
But
It's an MMO. It's an MMO.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
Right.
it's actually getting ready to
Like,
launch in beta on Xbox after 10 years.
yeah, we heard that. Like that, I saw that Phil had a presentation with some Square Enix guys and Yoshi P, I believe, right? That's his name.
I
Yoshi
couldn't
P.
remember everybody's name. I
Sorry,
mean, even
never
though
mind.
we just watched the direct, I won't be able to tell you everybody's name that we saw. Uh,
Well, the only name I know is Troy Baker is in Indiana Jones, so excited for
yeah.
that.
I can also point out Todd Howard.
Yeah, true, true,
um,
true.
but and then my multiplayer game with my friend is that I've also been playing, which my last year's game of the year, which is Remnant 2, my personal one.
Oh, ooh, that, nice. I've tried it myself. It's a great game. I cannot deny it, but I just think I struggle with shooting, like difficult shooters. Like even Doom Eternal, it's not the most challenging game when you have the lowest difficulty. But I just struggle with horror shooters, I guess. So Remnant 2, I saw why people were like, like hyping it up as like a huge surprise of the year. It came out of nowhere, to be honest. And then those who played it, they were just like they got swallowed by that game. They were like, wow, this is amazing. And I've heard like everyone has like different experience from that game. Like if what you're playing it could be a totally different experience what someone else is playing. I don't know what happens. Like you probably go to some room or something and just
Or
I don't know.
like if you play through the story,
Uh-huh.
like like the first major event that happens, you get drugged to a world, and the way Remnant is, there are three separate worlds that you can end
Gotcha.
up on, and each world has like a base game has two separate story paths you can take, but inside the
Gotcha.
two main story paths, there's about eight side stories that are randomly generated for each world.
Uh-huh.
And the first DLC for one of them came out, so one of the worlds now has three, and the other two are getting more DLCs for those. And they're completely. It just creates another main story, but still has shuffles in a whole bunch more sides, and then every time you play through it, it's completely different. Like you might got
Gotcha.
this story this time on this planet, and as you can play through it, you'll go to each planet,
Gotcha.
and it has some
Gotcha.
really cool boss fights.
Gotcha. So you had no hard time with it? You just like
I,
easily like cheat those bosses or
you
something?
saw me
What
play
happened?
Halo. You know how I play. I can play some shooters. He can
I
kick
mean,
my butt.
yeah,
You can
you're
kick
true.
my butt at fighters. But
Uh-huh.
what I've always been good at are shooters because I've played it since Halo 1. I mean,
That's your favorite genre, right? Shooters, right? You
I
mentioned that, I believe. Shooters?
shooters and RPGs are my favorite two genres. Every once in a while, I'll pick up something else that I really like. I don't like racers, but every time the latest Forza Horizon comes out, I have to play it.
Yeah, you gotta play that. Yeah, it's just
Um,
yeah, those guys are like I don't know, some geniuses. Like the world that they built for Forza Horizons, like even 3, 4, 5. I believe in my opinion, so far 3 is the best looking one. I mean, not best looking one. I mean, I would say the world Australia part. Like I think it was so brand new at the time in 2016. It just like came out of nowhere in my opinion. Like I think it's really good. I think 5, 4 are also phenomenal, no doubt. But I think just 3, in my personal opinion, gets the edge for the best Forza Horizon. Yeah.
well, since you brought it up about about my favorite genres, what are your favorite genres? And that'll be our
Uh,
icebreaker for the week.
I mean, RPGs right there, but like my main genre is like action adventure, and so it doesn't matter if it's open world or like linear action adventure. As long as it's an action adventure with solid gameplay, it's just I'm looking to play it. Like for example, I'm just gonna highlight a few games like Shakiro, Shadows Die Twice, or is it Sakura? I call it Shakiro because I think it is Shakiro. That's my favorite game. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And it's just something else. That's just like I think it's just like a dream game for me. Middle Earth, Shadow of War, Red Dead Redemption 2. What else? Resident Evil 2. And what else? Resident Evil 4, of course. Batman Arkham City. All Batman Arkham games, to be honest. Yeah. So just to name a few for now, these are like my all timers right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, those sound great. I mean, I've enjoyed God of War, uh, Red
Yeah,
Dead
it's great.
2. I
Mm-hmm.
liked
Yeah, I
Red Dead
forgot.
2 and 1. Um, I think one's better than 2.
No way.
Story wise,
No.
story wise, gameplay, it's Red Dead 2 all the way.
Yeah. Oh well.
Eh,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm just
I
sorry to
like
break
both.
your
I
heart.
really like both. But Red Dead 2 is something else for me. I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just like the detail in that game is just out of this world. In Red Dead 2, it's just, I don't know. I haven't seen a game yet that has that focuses so much on the details like Red Dead 2 does. So,
Hey, I mean, yeah, like I've watched a lot of stuff about the physics of that game.
yeah.
Like I watched a video one day. And it was like, just 5 minute speed thing. Like they fast forward through it, but they killed a body, walked about 20 feet away, and
Uh-huh.
you can watch it as it decomps. Animals will come eat it. Like it is very very.
It's just wow, it's just mind blowing. All those devs, I know it's like some 5,000 people worked on that game, but like they all still deserve the credit for that game. It's just beautifully done.
And their next installment is Grand Theft Auto 6, which is coming 2025.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're excited.
I'm
I mean,
not.
I'm
I
excited
hate.
for others. I'm excited for others. Grand Theft Auto has never been my thing. I don't know why. It's since San Andreas, like PS2 days, like it's just never clicked. But I'm excited for others. Definitely, yeah.
I have never enjoyed Grand Theft Auto. I've had them. I've had them all because my friends would play them, but it's just for some reason I couldn't get into them. Um, I like uh, I like Saint Row. Like,
Gotcha.
give me your discount
I
Grand. I like your discount Grand Theft Auto versus the Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, I just hope we don't turn away our viewers by just saying we don't like Grand Theft Auto. Man, but sorry guys, it's just not our thing, man. But like, hey,
Hey,
we like other games, man.
well, my going back to probably my all-time favorite open world game is Sleeping Dogs. That's that style of game. Have you ever
But
gotten
it's
to play?
not. I mean, I know it's open world, but it's not that big of a world to be honest, right?
It's actually I would say it's about the size of the Saint Rose game. It's not like probably closer to like world size Grand Theft Auto 4.
Gotcha, gotcha,
I'd say maybe a hair smaller, but close enough.
gotcha.
Um, all right. Since we kind of were, how about recommendations for the week? I'm gonna give you one since you're a big action adventure guy. You should look up a Plague's Tale series.
I played them both. They're phenomenal.
They're
I
phenomenal.
played them.
All right, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my recommend to the
I
viewers.
was saying in 2022, that would be like my third favorite game of the year, like the third most. Elden Ring was at the top, Ragnarok second, and then of course Plague Tale Requiem. Great game, phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, definitely.
Oh,
That was up there. I hate to break your heart, but I wasn't a big fan of Ragnarok.
you weren't? Oh, well, you like 2018, right? God of War, I
Yeah,
guess.
I like 2018 better than Ragnarok. I just felt like Ragnarok was too long.
I mean, to be like, I understand completely because in the very beginning, I felt the same sentiment. Like, I thought it had like a really slow start. It really did, and I was like, it was just like, no, it's just not clicking. But I still kept pushing. I wanted to see the fights later on. The more you play, in my opinion, it opens up. It really
I beat
does.
it.
Like, yeah,
I beat it, and
yeah.
everyone's telling me I need to play the free Valhalla DLC.
Gotcha. I don't know if you've. You say you like RPGs. I don't know if this is technically an RPG, but like if you're looking for like a under the radar game or something, and it's kind of old now, I would say it's Immortals: Phoenix Rising. Definitely give that game
Oh,
a
I
try.
love that game.
You do?
Yeah, I beat it. Is good. It's good. That's a that.
Yeah.
You could say it's an open world RPG. So that's your recommendation. What would you like
Yeah.
about it so much?
To be honest, and also I'm sorry. Remember when we were talking about the last Ubisoft game that I really enjoyed was Odyssey and Valhalla? It's actually more newer. It came out after Valhalla did. Actually, I believe a month after Valhalla. So yeah, so that's before Prince of Persia. I would say that's the last Ubisoft game I really enjoyed. Also, art style and Zelda, for example, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Like I know it's just like everyone's favorite game. To be honest, I think
Yes,
so.
they
Unnamed
took a
Tears of the
lot of
Kingdom too now.
stuff from that. It
Yeah,
was so good.
and me on the other hand, I bought a Switch just because of that game because I got into the hype. And what I really did not like about Zelda was the weapon kept breaking. So it's just it threw me off. So I was like, man, I don't know, man, I can't fight with this. Like every 2 seconds, my weapon's breaking. So Immortals, I think, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of I don't know heat on this, but I think Immortals is a better Zelda game. To be honest, I think the
Zelda
action
style
is
game.
just
We'll say Breath of the Wild style.
yeah, I mean, it pretty much copied whatever Breath of the Wild did, but I think it just did better, in my opinion. Like the fights were just like more satisfying, and then the art style is it's a phenomenal Ubisoft game. I know it's a Zelda clone, but just play it, and you will see like what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like some puzzles were annoying here and there. I would say like there were a couple. I mean, I don't know, you had to like lift some huge boxes and then just take them like another 200 feet away from there and then put them together whatsoever. And if you don't get them right, you have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
part of
some
it.
like secret fights in like dungeons, they were kind of really like I mean they were intense. They were really intense. And when you beat them, it's just so satisfying. Even the final boss fight, obviously I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody. It's hard, but it's very satisfying when you beat it. So
I
yeah.
need to go. I bought the Ultimate Edition. I need to go and beat the DLCs because
Oh,
they.
there are DLCs for that game too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're like one DLC is a continuation, and the other two are whole new worlds. Like, and they're about as long. Like with
Gotcha. Yeah. A side question: when you play that game, did you play as a male character or as like a female character?
I always play as a female character because I would rather look at a woman's butt than a guy's butt for a 40-hour game.
I'm the
That's
opposite,
just me.
but in some
That's
yeah,
just
but in
me.
some game, but like for some reason in this game, I saw a female in the post cover in the cover of the game, and I was like, I'll just play as the girl, I guess. And her voice acting was phenomenal. I really liked her voice, so I had a good time. And it's funny too. There are some parts of the game that are kind of funny, so yeah, definitely.
Well, we got our recommendations. Now let's move on to the news this week, and we had
Okay.
some big news. And what was the
Yep, we
news
did.
this week? You can tell them because they're probably all
Uh, it
aware.
was, it was some PlayStation Developer Direct show, I think. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was that.
yeah, yeah. We had a
Yeah.
PlayStation
No, no,
Direct.
no.
I
Oh, no,
completely
no, no,
forgot
no,
of
no.
that.
It was the Xbox one.
It
The
was the Xbox
PlayStation
one,
hasn't.
and it was
It's
an
like, wow.
amazing Direct. And we're kind of going to go
We're
down the
not gonna
list.
do
We're going to
Yeah.
go down the list, talking about the games in the order they were announced or talked about in the press release, ending with, of course, Indiana Jones, which probably was the show taker for most people.
No deny. No denying. Yeah.
Now, my show taker was Avowed.
Hmm. I want to hear this. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
What? What? You got a problem with Avowed?
I really want to hear. I'm gonna just
I'm
yeah,
just
give
teasing.
a
I'm just
feedback
teasing.
on it. I just want to hear your take. Then obviously I want to see. You might convince me to be on your side. Right? So I just want to hear what you have to say first.
Well, this just comes from me being like one of the biggest RPG people on the planet, and
Okay.
it's clearly got this. The one thing is everyone's just had the issue is it didn't show well, and I go back. Have you ever looked at Skyrim? Did it show well? I'm not talking graphics ways, but like the original trailers, like they were exactly done like how this was done. This has better graphics because it's modern times, and I like the art style. I like the bright colors. I like they gave us enough information for me to go, okay, I want to find out what this disease is. Why are these animals turning? Why is there a mushroom bear?
Mushroom bear. Nice.
Like that one
Yeah.
was kind of the older one too, but that's it. It was a freaking grizzly bear covered in mushrooms. But
Um, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's your
yeah,
turn. It's your time.
you're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
And but I love dialogue choices. They showed what I like. Dialogue
Mhm.
choices. Um, every game Obsidian's ever made, I've always enjoyed. Uh, my favorite Fallout game is New Vegas, and they made that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people. Like a
So,
lot of people swear by Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
but I like the way they talked about combat,
Hmm.
and it showed just how I would expect that style RPG to play. Like I didn't
Hmm.
expect it to be some grand thing, and I think a lot of the stuff people are not liking about it is because they keep comparing every RPG to Baldur's Gate, and that's going to hurt all
Two different
RPG.
games, though. No, I don't know
They
why people are
are,
doing that.
but
Yeah,
they're still an
totally different.
RPG genre, and
Yeah, yeah,
and like constantly people are they're not they didn't say like the first person was, but they go the storytelling is just not what because the way they explained it, like the little choice they brought up the guy, it's not Baldur's Gate. Of course, it's not Baldur's Gate. It's an entirely different team, different
yeah,
style of game.
yeah. And not every game has to be Baldur's Gate 3. So,
Yeah.
I love Witcher 3, but I don't want every game to be like Witcher 3. That's
So
just,
yeah,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean, but the combat, like I can't wait to have a wand in one hand and a musket in the other.
That's it, man. All right.
See, I got a hand cannon in the right hand, and then a like because you saw it like they for fast shooting it like a pit like a automatic weapon, so electrifying someone and then boom headshot they're dead.
I mean, that was cool. That was cool. I'll give you that for sure. For
And
sure.
they
Yeah.
had I saw a bow and arrow, which I love stealth play, so I
Okay.
love to get
Yeah.
far away. And it just looked like your typical. To me, it's the game I would play. Like 100% down. I get where there's a lot of like the enemies didn't see. It wasn't that they weren't smart, but they seemed like your generic hack and slash enemies. And I'm and yeah, but they've still got like 12 months. Well, no, if they're gonna hit fall, at least 9 to 10 months they still got of development.
Yeah.
They're gonna get it. Like if you look at the last year's trailer with this trailer,
Yeah,
it's
I saw the improvements. I saw the
yeah.
improvements compared to last year. Yeah, definitely, I did.
So what did you think
Yeah.
about Avowed?
Honestly, let me just say the first good part about the game. The thing that I like the most about it is actually not like in the game. It's like the box cover of the game. It's just like
Yeah,
so gorgeous. Like I saw that, I'm like, man, I want that as my dynamic background for my Xbox. It's just so good. Like, wow, this is phenomenal. So yeah, that and Obsidian, the only game like let me just I forgot to mention this in my intro, but let me just say this quick. So if 2020 is the year when I actually become a true action adventure like a gamer. Before that, I was just into fighting games or like some like multiplayer games. I was not into action adventure. It was the COVID helped me discover these games. So the first Obsidian game that I tried was the one that was added to Game Pass around that time, and that was the Outer Worlds. And I like I said before, I'm a gameplay guy. Like I
yeah,
want gameplay to be satisfying. Outer Worlds, I don't know if you agree with me or not. I don't think so. The gameplay was like their like number one thing. I guess is the main thing in that game was I believe the writing, the story, and like the how what your choices, the choices you make.
you're
Like
100% right. The
yeah.
gameplay is the
So
weakest point of that game.
yeah. So that thing did not connect. So, but Avowed, when I first saw that in, I believe it was July 2020, during the first Xbox game showcase before or the launch of Series X and S, when we saw that presentation, so I had a lot of expectation about it. When I looked at it, that and Fable were like the two games I was like, wow, these are gonna be my next big games on Xbox. I cannot wait to buy a Series X to play these two. that art style, that presentation that they have for a while, it was like a much more darker tone, you know. So kind of like, I mean, I would say like an Elden Ring world basically, but not obviously not Elden Ring, but like the world. I was looking for a darker world, like Lord of the Rings type the world. And
Yeah,
then
that's fair.
yeah,
Yeah, that's 100 fair. That's hundred
yeah,
percent fair. It
and
is
then
very
when
different.
last year came, like finally we heard about I was gonna be at the show and we watched it. It was just like a complete 180 for me. I was like, wait, this is not what I saw like 3 years ago, or like 3.5 years ago, or something like that. I was like, this is a completely different game. So when I saw that presentation yesterday, I hear you everything that the magic part of the combat looks fun, but like the basic sword combat, the melee, I think it felt a little sluggish. I just honestly thought it was just
That's
like
a
it
fair
looked like you had
criticism.
to hit your enemy at least 4 or 5 times or like 6 times to kill it. That was kill a normal enemy in that game. So it looks like a lot of work for the combat. I may be wrong when once that game is out. When I play it, like magic might be the thing that might help me get through the game. But like the basic combat, I think it just feels a little sluggish to me. So uh,
And they've still got time to tune it in. I mean, and I think they'll get it there. Uh,
yeah,
like
yeah, but that's just my only thing. I mean,
so,
I'm still gonna play it day one. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still gonna play it day one because it's like Skyrim is one of these games too. Like, it did not have that. Like, I think you would agree with me. The combat in Skyrim was like the weakest link too, right? If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, I would say
Yeah,
that and uh, over the overall polish, but that's a Bethesda. That was the whole
yeah,
thing about a Bethesda game. So
yeah. But like the thing that kept me in Skyrim was the world itself. The world was just like out other place you go, there were some surprises. Like what's gonna happen now? So Sky and like so many choices to make. Like you can take the game in any different direction. So Skyrim was phenomenal, and as I'm like feeling maybe about my scratch that itch for us before we get Elder Scrolls 6. So yeah.
okay, so do you still agree that the art style is a little weak, or do you since it's not as dark?
I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna say it's weak or something. It's just not what I was looking for. I was looking for the darker tone, and now it's just like it's not bad, but it's just not what I'm looking
You're
for.
looking for the darker tone for something like Hellblade, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting that like the light tone, the fun stuff. I'm getting that with Fable. So like, why not switch it up with a WoW? Like, just be darker and with WoW. Fable it will get you covered with all this goofy laughs and stuff like that. So you have that. Let a WoW be dark, I guess. So, but
Well,
I think it's just too late now. So whatever it is coming out, I'll just play it. Yeah.
you're going to get a dark tone with our next game,
Oh
Hellblade
yeah.
2.
Nice way to segue, right? Yeah.
You're
There we
going to
go.
get that dark tone.
Totally
Um,
forgot about that game for a second. But here we go. Let's
so
go.
we'll start with you. What was your overall presentation? And just like everybody, you've seen it 2,000 times about this point.
So, I mean, with this presentation, there was not much to add with it except for the release date. So, like, we had already seen a whole lot about this game. The very first presentation, I believe, Game Awards 2019, and then the last one, like a month ago. Those were the two presentations that just stole me with that game. Yeah, the first one, even though it did not show any gameplay, the first presentation, but it's just like the presentation and the music and how Senua looked like in that game. So it's just like, but there's just when you hear her sing, I don't know if she was singing or what, she was speaking some magic words or something, but like whatever she was doing, whatever she was reciting, you felt goosebumps in that presentation. The first presentation I'm talking about, there was just like something in there. And then the last one we saw on the what do you call it? At the Game Awards 2023, like a month ago, they showed some gameplay, some signs, some more to the story. I'm just like, I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Especially, I really enjoyed the first game. I really did, even though it was a mostly walking sim. I get that it was a walking sim mostly, but like the parts, the like constantly her talking to her voices. There's some few boss fights it had, and then the ending with like I believe I don't want to spoil it. I think it was what's the name of the girl from the what do you call it? This movie Thunder. Thor. Oh my God. Ragnarok. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Ragnarok. Wasn't. I'm sorry
yeah.
for like. like an
Yeah,
hour.
I know who you're. I
Yeah,
know who
I
you're
think it
taking.
was Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was Ragnarok who popped up late in that game, and then the final sequence of
hella,
Hellblade was phenomenal. So as
hella
soon as I finished
silly.
that game, I was like, obviously we're gonna have Hellblade 2, obviously, and then obviously it's coming out, and I just wish we had seen a little bit more of gameplay. Like I mean, when I say gameplay, what I mean is like hand-to-hand fight, some more, like at least maybe a 2 minute quick fight with some random dudes. That presentation they did 2 years ago at the Game Award. I don't know why they always show this game during Game Award. First time they showed in 2019, second time was 21, and then third time was 2030. I don't know why they always do that during
It's
Game
because it was announced with the Game Awards, so they wanted it to associate with the Game Awards.
Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, guys, I think maybe most of the people are watching. Most of the gamers are watching during the Game Awards. I think it's the biggest show of the year now. Now that E3 is gone, I think it's just the biggest show of the year. So yeah, and 21, when they showed us like she was throwing spears at a big giant, I mean, that really wasn't. It was in and out of a cutscene too. So in my opinion, I don't know if that was gameplay or not. I want to see some more action in that game. But it's all right. It's coming out in 4 months, so
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
May 21st. But speaking of the in and out with the giant fight, that I would call that a hybrid. Because it was gameplay, but at the same time it wasn't quick time events like
Yeah,
I told you,
yeah.
Final Fantasy. So like they are pushing a bar of such realism that you can't tell if it's cutscene or gameplay.
These guys are Ninja Theory guys. They're doing. I think it's gonna be a great game. Like you said, the realism is out of this world right now, in my opinion. Yeah.
Now, my opinion is I felt Hellblade 1 was boring. I beat it because
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
an only like a 5 to 7 hour game,
yeah,
which I'm
yeah.
glad Hellblade 2 is in the same one because I'll probably play it and beat it because I want to know what the story is. I still like to talk to people about them, and I don't hate Hellblade. I love what they did. I like the way the sound design is and all that stuff, but Hellblade 1 was just not for me. Like everyone has their games, and that is
Pacing of the game was because of the pacing of the game mainly, or something else.
maybe it was just too slow, too long of a walking sim,
There were some long walks. There were, yeah. I'm not gonna.
and the over monologuing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's
yeah, like walking with like. Even though I love what happened to Edith Finch, but that's a 2 hour game versus 7 hours of it. So
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and like
What you were talking about? What remains of Edith
yeah,
Finch, right? I think
yeah.
it was also in Game Pass too. I beat that too. I only got 200 points for the achievements. So I'm not getting most of it. So whatever.
Uh, that one is like you have to you have to do something when when the kid drowns in the bathtub, that kind of stuff. And I just spoiled. Sorry, but
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
that game is almost 10 years old now, so get over it.
Yeah. I mean, you will still get different endings too. So
So but like I said, just the original one was just not for me. Yes, I beat it. I beat it twice actually because I wanted the 1,000 gamer score for it. Beat it on my PC and my Xbox. So, uh,
nice. Wait,
but
so did you get like 2,000 points for it
yep,
instead of
yep,
1,000?
yep.
Oh, there we go. Come on, man. I mean that's. I mean,
I mean, they were
I mean, I
years
get
apart. They were years apart though when I did it.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
So maybe not
But
years, but
still
at least a
add
year
on to your
apart.
Xbox gamer score though, so
I'm almost at 425,000 gamer score.
I don't know if I could get there. I'm at like 75 right, 72. So yeah, 72,000.
So,
That's still
for
decent.
yeah, it's still good. Mine's not like in the like high highs. There's plenty of people. The only
I know.
above
I know.
me, I got one friend who's got over 1 million. So
I mean, I saw just one girl. She's a friend of mine on Xbox. She scored 36,000 points in a month. I mean, it's not over yet. She still got 11, 12 more days to go. I'm like, damn, 36,000 points already. Like, how do you guys game, man? Like, I don't get it.
there are a lot of smaller games that you can do that with. But anyway, let's go
Sorry.
back to the
Yeah.
Our next game, which was the Square Enix surprise, Visions of Mana. Do you know anything about
Yeah.
Visions of Mana or Mana
Not
in
really,
general?
to be honest. I mean, I was just happy to see that surprise in there, to see Square Enix associated with Xbox. I'm not a biggest Square Enix guy. The only few games I like are like the Tomb Raider games and what do you call it? Is Deus Ex a Square Enix game? I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah,
Deus Ex
that.
and Final
Yeah,
Fantasy. That's also Square Enix.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean the only Final Fantasy I like is Final Fantasy 16. I'm not a turn-based guy, so sorry about that, people. But
Um,
so yeah,
I
the
hate
Tomb
to.
Raider is the only Square Enix game. Yeah, go ahead.
So, speaking of just get you caught up for a little bit and some of our viewers, Tomb Raider is no longer owned by Square Enix, and neither is Deus Ex.
Yeah, sorry that I forgot Embracer Group bought them. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Embracer Group
Oh,
brought them, and they already closed one of those three studios they bought.
let's hope. I mean, we're still getting a Tomb Raider game
Yep,
in
and
the near
it's actually
future.
being
But like,
funded by Amazon, so they're putting money behind it.
there's hope.
Yeah, so
So there's hope. Yeah.
um,
So yeah, I mean, for this game, Visions of Mana, I know a lot of people are excited for it, but like, I mean, it's not for me. If you want to talk about it, go for it, man. But I'll still give this game a try, to be honest. But go ahead.
I'll give it a well. For starters, it's not going to be in Game Pass, but I'll give a rundown. Mana, Legends of Mana, whatever, has been around for many, many years. Like this is the 15th installment, I think.
Okay. Okay.
I think I actually have that note. It might not be the 15th, but like, it's they are your very old school Japanese RPG hack and slash. I actually played one of them on PS2, and I can't remember which one it was, but like so long ago. It's probably I love JRPGs like the Tell series and stuff. It's probably not for me though, just by how it looks. I'll probably still try it if it comes
It
to
looks
Game Pass.
cute, though. It looks cute.
Yeah, riding around on the little doggy.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. But what I was glad to see it there. It's just reaffirming everybody that hey, Microsoft is serious with Square Enix. The games are coming back after a couple years hiatus. Speaking of
I,
which,
yeah, go ahead.
um, I got their last game that came to Xbox, and I still haven't finished it, but I got into it, and I might actually go back to it next week or two, which is Star Ocean, the latest one.
Gotcha.
I love the older Star Oceans, but I think I bought it the wrong time. I get in these moods where I can only play certain types of games,
Uh-huh.
and like that's the only games I can play. Even though I might get an interruption with something that really engrossed me, like I'll go in these periods where all I want to do is earn achievements. So I'll have a great time playing some of the crappiest games on the planet that I would never play or like would find super boring. And then or I'll get in this mood where all I want to play is shooters or all I want to play is RPGs or so on and so
That
forth.
happens. That happens all sometimes. Like, I mean, I'm not a biggest shooter guy, but like there are some times when I just want to play shooters. I think it happened with me with that when I first experienced Titanfall 2, and then I was just like in a zone. I was like, all right, I want to play another game like Titanfall 2. So then I discovered Wolfenstein 2. And then yeah, it's just shooters all around. But yeah, it happens. Like you were talking.
Yeah. And I can see maybe Visions of Mana taking over in that kind of situation if I'm on a JRPG kick. And the thing is, like, I get into them and I'm like, I have the best time when I'm in those modes.
Yeah.
And, but like beyond just the kind of the basic history, I can't really keep going on it. But like I said, it is a good thing to see Square Enix. And hopefully we'll get to see more Square Enix games come to.
Xbox. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
I love them
Quick
on
thing on that.
PlayStation.
This is a quick question on that one. What do you think? How is it gonna do on Xbox? Like, I know there are some people who are huge Square Enix fans, but like their main platform is Xbox, and I like you and I, we're both not looking forward to this game, and I think we will still give this game a try. But like, whenever it's down, just like I don't know, on Xbox game. I know you said it's not on a Game Pass, but whenever it comes down to Game Pass or whenever it's cheap, we'll give this game a try. But what do you think? How it's
I
gonna
think
do?
it'll do okay. The now it's cheaper to port a game than keep a game off a platform.
Hmm.
And
Gotcha.
um, Mana has a very good dedicated fan base, so
Yeah.
it will
Yeah.
probably sell. I would say a third to a fourth of what will sell on Sony and or PC.
Yeah. And then only
And
like
and and,
10%.
and if it's on, and I think it's coming to Switch, will probably have the highest amount.
Yeah. 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 Let's see how it does. I
I
mean,
mean,
you're right.
it'll still do good enough that they will get a great return on it on Xbox, just like any
Yeah.
all Square Enix games in the past. If a Square Enix game is a flop, it's usually a flop on all platforms, not one. Never has been.
I mean, I don't understand their expectation levels or something. Like sometimes their games are looking doing good, but they still say it's a disappointment for them or something. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it was a Final Fantasy 16 that sold 3 million copies, and yet they're still not happy about it, even though it's just exclusive to one platform. But
It,
whatever, I don't know Square Enix like how to
yeah.
do their best, their numbers. So
Well, that's changing because the former boss is gone. There's a whole new big boss that's and it's clear he understands to get them to start getting successful. Stop it with these long deals. They're still going to do the deals,
mhm,
but you
mhm.
can see it with Final Fantasy Rebirth getting ready to come out. It's only got a 3 month exclusivity.
The Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, it only
Yeah,
has a 3 month exclusive.
yeah.
But like the first one is still not on on Xbox at all.
Now,
I don't know if this game is ever coming.
speaking of news, I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and do it. But Microsoft has confirmed. Microsoft, it's rumored and kind of confirmed because it's Jazz Cord and Wendell Citral, which he's one of the. He is a great journalist.
yeah, yes.
That they're in
Yeah.
talks to bring remake to Xbox, but he made a point saying we probably won't hear anything of it until probably a month after Rebirth is out because they don't want to take anything away from
Um,
from
PlayStation
from
and
Rebirth, the new game.
okay, got
Like
okay. They just want to keep line on Rebirth for now.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and
Uh,
um, Final Fantasy, despite what people say, always sells really well on Xbox. It's
It
um,
does.
oh, they always do. They always do. Like unless they've been kept off for a very long time, like I'm talking many years to where they're just kind of in the ether of old times. What was it? 15. Uh, 1/3 of the entire sales of on the launch sales, which it wasn't on PC.
Mhm.
1/3, little over 1/3 was just Xbox sales, and it sold close to 7 million copies. So they
So
got
15.
yeah, 15,
Oh wow, that's a decent amount. Yeah,
like right at initial launch, like they're
that's a decent
close.
amount.
So
Yeah.
they always do well. They're not going to do PlayStation numbers, but PlayStation also has a larger fan base,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got to take that into effect. But even like the reason the Tell's games are now coming to Xbox, they keep doing the marketing with them, and from Bandai is getting a great return from Xbox. More and more
Mhm.
Japanese stuff that comes to Xbox, the bigger returns, more Japanese games will get on all platforms. It's
Got
but yeah.
Yeah.
But since we talked a little bit about Visions of Savannah, this will probably be the one we talk the least amount because I doubt this goes to both of us. But Ara,
It's not even on Xbox. It's just a PC game. It's
well,
gonna
no,
be on PC and
they've confirmed it will come to Xbox at a later date.
later date. Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't know. I did not
It's
know
an
that, but
RTS. It's an RTS.
yeah,
RTS. It's very hard
yeah,
to do with controller. That is
yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Age of Empire, it took forever to come to Xbox, but it did eventually. So yeah.
after like how many
So
revisions?
I mean, it's basically strategy game, right? Some stuff like that, right? You have to build your worlds and all that. What I the cool part I like about that game is that like it's talking about the whole world. Like I mean, it's there's a whole world culture in it. Like I saw some Muslims, some Christians. Like they're like you can do basically a lot of things in there. Like you can set up your whole place farm and get into war or just build your empire. So, but like, and you get to choose famous world leaders in that game from the past. So,
Yeah,
I mean, so they're giving you a lot of choices,
yeah,
but it seems like a cool element of that game. But like you said, I mean, that's not my type of games, like the strategy RTX, whatever they are. Yeah.
yeah. I haven't been really into a strategy game like that in a long, long time. Um, I used to like them okay, like older Command and Conquer, which I wasn't the best at. And but I did beat Civ was it Civ's 4, Civilization
So
4.
one of those developers that are working in Aura, they developed this game, right? Civilization 4 or 5.
They said 5, which was the
Yeah.
big hit of them all, and it was half the studio went broke off to make their own studio because they wanted to do their own thing.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
new thing these days. People want to do their own thing now.
but it'll be it. I'm excited for people who love RTSs who can play them.
Yeah.
Me, I don't have the skills. I don't.
I
Um,
mean, same here, man. But like you said, you're excited for the people. I also am gonna like. I'm pretty sure you feel the same thing as I do. I want to wish the best to all the developers who are working because they poured their blood and soul in these games.
yeah,
So I hope they get their money back. I mean, their money's worth. They do good with this. People enjoy this game, and they keep growing. Like so, they can continue doing more stuff like this. It's like I know it's not for us, but I know a lot of people are gonna enjoy this. So yeah, happy for them, man. Yeah,
exactly. Um,
yeah.
but now that we've covered that one, on
Comes
to
down to the
probably
big
the
one.
game of the show for everybody. Not me. Avowed still
Except for
wins.
you. Except for you.
Indiana Jones, which I am
Yeah.
super excited to play.
Well, my game of the show. If I had not seen Hellblade like a zillion times before, it would have been Hellblade 2. But obviously, it's Indiana Jones because it just looks great. It just looks. I mean, I'm not a biggest Indiana Jones franchise guy at all. I'm not, but like this game by Machine Games, like they did phenomenal games with Wolfenstein 2. Those two are phenomenal, especially the second one. They just. I think the first one had a better story, but the second one was a better gameplay wise and everything. And this one, I think, I know it's first person. There's some controversy going on with people like having an issue with why is this first person, and some people just are superly happy with it, like it's first person. Uh, but like I think it's good that they're going with first person because that's Machine Games that expertise right there. That's their thing, and
And they're
let
giving,
them do what they do best. Yeah,
and they're
go ahead.
giving. I think they're giving because this is also giving Indiana Jones its own identity for a game
Yeah,
versus Uncharted and
yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's just funny how some people say they're just trying to imitate Uncharted, but they keep forgetting Indiana Jones is the reason why Uncharted and Tomb Raider exist. So,
Yeah,
that's just
exactly,
saying, people. Just saying.
exactly.
It's not like Indiana Jones is not a brand new thing. It's been around forever, to be honest.
I mean, it was
And
around before I was born.
yeah,
Which I was thinking about watching. The only one I've never actually watched all the way through because I just haven't. I'm thinking about watching Temple of Doom. So
yeah. But overall, man, great presentation. Music was phenomenal. The way this show presented the music during those scenes, and Troy Baker is in the game doing Indiana's voice, Indiana Jones. He's the Mr. Indiana Jones in this game, and he's just one of the best. Like I have loved it. I actually liked him even in BioShock Infinite. But most people don't even know he was in BioShock Infinite. He did a phenomenal job in that game too.
yeah,
So very
he did.
excited, very excited for it. Yeah.
Just a little more about Troy Baker. He was also Joel. He's the original Joel from
Oh,
Last of
yeah,
Us.
I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. People know that. I'm just saying, but it's
Well, I'm
Last
just
of Us. It's
saying,
just like,
like, I had some people say, "Who's Troy Baker? Why is everybody like freaking out?" He is him, Nolan North, and what's the other guy? There's one other that are like the voice actors for video
I
games.
know he's in a lot that big one of those big games, so I forgot that. But that's true. Once I remember, I'll let you know.
And the girl is I can't think of the girl name either, but there's one lady that's another big name who was um, female shepherd, Fib Shep. She's the other big one.
Oh, Oh, okay, that's cool, man. I mean, I just know Troy Baker. It's mainly because of Last of Us, but like he's also in Bioshock Infinite. Yeah.
All right, what did you think about the opening to the trailer? Was that like when he's buried like this?
Oh yeah,
Like
it's a pretty cool scene. Yeah, I saw that. It's a
it's
pretty cool
obvious
scene.
that the villain he broke the villain's nose.
With the headbutt. Yeah.
No, his nose was
Very nice.
already broken, but like it's obvious Indy did it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was pretty fun, man. I like that aspect of it. I'm just saying, man. I just want this game out right now. I really do want it out, so I can
It's
experience it. I don't
coming
want to see
soon.
anything else. I really don't want to watch anything else. I just want to play the game. I don't care about anything else. I've seen enough. I know it's not a whole lot, but I've seen enough in my opinion.
Do you like
So
the
just
whip
want to.
since your gameplay? Because that was actually really cool. I was like,
I mean, you can do. It's not just like you can use it for combat. You can use
yeah,
it for a lot of things in
yeah,
that game. For a lot, like yeah, you can solve puzzles with it or climb and like and just keep whipping Nazis' ass with it. So yeah, I mean, machine games love to like they just love beating up those Nazis, right?
yeah. They love killing
uh,
Nazis. I mean,
yeah,
machine games. So we need to make an Indiana Jones game. Okay, so either we need a team that knows how to make exploration games, or here's Todd Howard's like, what about a team that can kill Nazis?
yeah. Why not?
I
Let's
got the
do
perfect
that.
team in mind. Okay. Um,
That's cool, man. Yeah, it's just that to be honest, I'm also glad that it's happening. Remember when I think the last time we saw this game was like 3 years ago or something, and then just they just went to a dark mode. Like, did not hear a beep about this game after that. So,
um, Now with that happens a lot, and that's really cool. I like when they do that because a lot of the time they announce games early when they were looking for developers to help develop games. It's like
mhm, mhm.
so like they announce we're working on Indiana Jones, and then if you right after that trailer, if you check within like a week, you'll see they have like 50 positions open.
Ah,
So
hmm.
that's a good way
Yeah,
for
but that's
them.
after the first trailer, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Let's see. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
yeah, that's the name of the game, The Great Circle.
Yep.
Yep, I like the name. I really do. I really like the name. And
And it takes
what else?
place in between the two movies. What was the Last Crusade and what was the other one? Not Temple of Doom. Why am I blanking
It's
on
all right, man. I mean, these are old movies, right? So
yeah, but
yeah,
it's Indiana Jones, so it feels kind of insulting to forget the. I'm remembering the two of them.
uh-huh. It's all right, man. Don't worry about it, man. It
Yeah,
just
it's fine.
happens, man. We're just getting up there with our age now, so don't.
Yep, yep.
Well, sorry. What was I gonna say? But the other shocker was, I mean, it was obvious when it was mentioned in Developer Direct that it's coming out this year. But it was a shocker when I saw the picture of the game on Developer Direct and it kind of get the feeling that it's gonna come out this year. I was not expecting this game to come out this year. I thought it might be a 2025 game, to be honest. But it's a good, pleasant surprise that
It
it's
was a
coming out this year.
it was a great
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought Fable would come out before this game. I honestly did, but I guess we have to wait for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to wait for Fable. Probably another year on it. I think Fable's going to be next year. You want to guess what's going to be at next year's Direct? And they've made it clear that every game at Directs for that year are supposed to release that year. Things can always
Unless
still
some,
change. So,
yeah, unless something happens, something major happens, or like, yeah, whatever. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
video game development is just hard. So
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Indy's like probably the one that I think just by how good it looked and how well it was, you could tell it was playing. I think Indy will hit this year. I'm more skeptical of Avowed getting pushed.
There's a chance. I have the same feeling too for a while too. Like, obviously did not give any date. They just said fall 2024.
Yeah.
And yeah, it could get pushed. You never know. Like especially when you get closer to the release date, you always get some news like they're pushing it. Like how did I mean, I'm not comparing any game to Cyberpunk, but with Cyberpunk, when we got close, like I think it was in August, it was supposed to release it in November. They just gave us the news. Oh no, we're just pushing it back by another 3 weeks. So hopefully it doesn't happen to a while. But if it does, it's all right, man. We still got a whole lot of games to play this year on our
Yeah,
Xbox. We
definitely,
do third party,
definitely.
first party. We got a lot of games to play this year. So yeah.
Well, we've covered the show. Now here's some little small bits of news that I think is worth sharing. If you got any questions, just hit me at them. But first off is the a new. This is for mobile people, so but I still cover the news because it's worth it. Plants vs Zombie 3, Zombria, is available in soft launch. Speaking of that, a new Elder Scrolls game has also soft launch, and it is Elder Scrolls Castle, which is the same thing as Fallout Shelter.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a mobile game.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I don't know that.
so it just had a soft launch. Um, also, the announced. Are you excited for Persona 3 Reloaded?
Not really. I
Yeah.
played Persona 5. What else? Like, I mean, it's too much JRPG stuff in there for me. There's too much JRPG stuff and less gaming in there, in my opinion. And when I say less gaming, I mean less gameplay. So, way too
Okay.
much talk. Way too much talk. So,
That's fair. I enjoyed that game. I got all the achievements on Xbox and all the trophies on PlayStation.
they're long games, right? They're long games.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
my first time playing through was 120 hours, and then second and third time through, that one was about 80 hours, and the other one was about 70 because I didn't know what to do all then. So
Boy. And how much like you time spent on like just on cutscenes, like 50 hours, something like
actually, the
that.
cutscenes aren't too bad. Some of them are long, but they're not. They're no Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay.
People who played Metal Gear Solid 4 know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I'm just
Anyway,
gonna stay away from that game.
the reason I brought that up is they've announced the launch, all the DLC that's going to be available day one. Um, here's a game I'm excited for. Stalker 2 finally has a release date.
It's September, right? September 5th, I
Yep,
believe.
September 5th. And that game
Gotcha.
was made in some horrible conditions. So
I
everyone
know.
support that game.
Absolutely, man. I'm probably gonna buy it, even though it's on Game Pass. I'll just buy physical, or if there's a physical version, I'll get it. If not, then I'll just grab the digital version. Yeah.
Also, this week, Pow World, or I guess it's Pow World, launched in early access.
Well, Power. I thought it was Pale. No.
No, it's Pow World. It's like your pal, which
Okay.
it
I thought there was
it
an E
which
next to it.
here's how I describe it. Which here's how first let me tell you how everybody else. It's Pokemon with guns. Here's how I describe it. It's Rust and Pokemon with guns.
Rust said nice.
It totally is. You start out naked and then you go slap an animal and make him your partner, and then you
Uh,
start making clothes and stuff. It's literally a survival game, like a straight up like Ark
they
Survival Evolve
they're
or Rust.
they're doing great on Steam right now. I think they've already sold like 1 million copies already, in like less than 10 hours or something,
Yep,
right?
it was 8 hours. I saw that earlier. I don't have that note, but I remember it said about 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, good job, man.
Another small little bit of news, which is kind of sad if you're a Rock Band fan. I don't think you will be, but the last DLC for Rock Band 4, which has been out for 10 years, is coming later this month. They didn't say what it was, but it will be the last DLC.
And I mean, I'm kind of sad because I mean, back in the day, like during 360 days, they were like a huge thing, and I always wanted to experience them. But at the time, I did not have enough money to get that game, so never got a chance. But like, they look cool. Like, they look really fun. So, and I think they're peaked during 360 days, right? That game, I believe.
Yep.
Rock
Yep.
Band, yeah,
Yep. Rock Band was like Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
yeah. Oh yeah, Guitar Hero too.
All
Yep,
right,
yep.
real fast. Speaking of Guitar Hero has a chance to come back because now that Microsoft owns Activision and Blizzard, you know how that game should come back and it would totally
Yeah,
work.
let me know.
Rock Band subscription service.
Subscription service.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like, but you with the subscription service, you get access to every song on the planet. You don't have to buy 'em. You pay, let's say, $7 a month, and
Mhm.
you can play all day long. And they sell the controllers at a loss that come with a digital copy of the game, and I would say a 3 month subscription. Get them hooked on it, and then just start. Rock Band could do it. I mean, not Rock Band. Guitar Hero.
I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but let's just see what other Rock Band fans have to say about your plan there. Like, I mean,
I
your
mean, I can
ideas.
see it working and reviving. So, most
Gotcha.
people wouldn't like it because they
Hmm.
want to own the song so they can play them anytime. But that will just keep the library full, and it'll keep them adding because it's very hard to sustain stuff like that now.
Gotcha.
And my last little bit of news that's what I think is newsworthy is: have you ever played Until Dawn for PlayStation?
Oh, yeah, I have. It was, I think when it was called PS Now, I subscribed at that time and played it. And I was not expecting to like it, but it's good. It's really good. It's good.
They're well, Sony announced they're making a movie.
I mean, they don't have to. It's already kind of like an interactive movie. So,
Well, they're making a
I mean,
movie. That yep, that's the news. That
oh,
was the news.
I think I mean, I'm not too. I mean, I like gaming. Okay, I'm not like being a fanboy here, but at this moment, it seems like Sony has forgot how to make games all of a sudden. Like, come
I
on, guys,
I
they're
think
getting
they're just
remastered. All of, what happened? Sorry.
here's my theory. The one is they are up a creek that they carved themselves. They are up a creek without a paddle by their own doing.
Hmm.
But part of it is game development is getting longer and longer, and they just did not figure out a way for their house studios
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
um,
I mean,
to
I
release
get that, but
games.
yeah, but like they have people working on like some projects that are not necessary. Like for example, I know some people like they're okay, they're very glad, super glad to pay the $10 upgrade for The Last of Us 2 remastered. But to be honest, you and I, we both know that game did not need a remaster.
It
Did
didn't.
not. I
It
mean,
didn't.
it did not.
I
Even to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Even the first one, the remaster, The Last of Us remaster, did not need a remake. It still plays good. I mean, I know. I mean, it helps with the lighting and all that. But they worked on the last two projects. They worked Naughty Dog. I'm talking here. Actually, three projects to be honest are like remasters or remake. Last of Us Part One, Uncharted, Thieves Collection, and then the last.
the collection was actually done by Nexus Software.
Oh, Naughty Dog has nothing to do with it.
They probably oversaw it. They had a little bit to do with it, but they didn't
Yeah, yeah.
have majority of their team. They probably had a representative and a couple what you would call check people to check it.
Kind of like how Blue Point did Demon Souls remake, I guess, right? To be honest.
Well, Demon like Blue Point did it all themselves, and that was a full remake. That was like from the ground up. wasn't
And
It
that
wasn't
deserved a remake.
rewritten
And that
story.
deserved, yeah, that deserved a remake, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and then you have Sony doing all these other shows. Like they did the show with the Captain America guy. I forgot his name. Sorry, Anthony Mackie. Yeah. What show was that called? To some old game, some crush, some car game. But you know what? It's
Twisted
on
Metal.
Peacock.
Twisted Metal.
Just a metal. They did that show, and they did the movie called. I mean, they did the movie Gran Turismo, and then they are working on Ghost of Tsushima movie too, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they have got a
Possibly.
lot of like, yeah, they
Yeah,
have, and then
but it's
yeah,
people overseeing it, but it's not the studios doing them.
no, I get that, but like from like just talking casual fan point, it just seems like from Sony's world,
Yeah,
we're just getting more movies and shows, and I know it's not developers making it, but like we're getting less games all of a sudden.
I get what you're saying.
And yeah, but like, and that's to be honest, it's okay. I mean, Sony has delivered some phenomenal games over the years. This is like their only down year. Even in their down year, they still have exclusives coming out. So
I
whatever,
would
it's not
say
that bad.
last 2 years have been down years. Even though Spider Man came
You-
out last year.
You're talking about 20, oh, just start counting 23 and 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they had something, right? Like, for example, in 2022, Microsoft, all they had was the book game.
They had
It's a good
Pentiment,
game.
Pentiment,
It was-
Grounded, and
yeah,
there was one other. They were all small titles. No grand
Yeah, I mean,
ones.
yeah. But like, I mean, Starfield and we were hoping on Starfield and Redfall to come out in 22, but they both got pushed to 23. So it just felt like a completely like an empty year. So at least 23, Sony had something, right? So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I will say
yeah,
this: they released so many games in 21. Was it 21?
and two,
No, no,
22 too.
20. No, it was 20. It was 2020. 22. The year. Let's see. What was the year? Halo Infinite,
That's
Forza.
21.
Yeah, it's
That's
21.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
21. They had like 7 games that year.
Sony.
Psychonauts. No,
Oh, it's on Xbox.
Microsoft, and then they had
Yeah.
the dead year.
Yeah, they
So
had the bad year. But before that, even 2020, well, that was not a good year for Microsoft as well. There was just, I mean, they just launched the Series X and S, and then they had, what else they had? Like, the only game they launched was Bleeding Edge and Gears Tactics, I believe, that year
no,
in 2020.
no,
So now what is
they're
going on?
20. They're 20. They're like 28, like 2018 or 2019.
What are you talking about? The Bleeding Edge?
Bleeding Edge, yeah, they were still Xbox One generation.
No, but it came out in 2020. I'm sure it was March 2020. I'm sure, I don't know. And then, but like, I mean, 2020, there was just like that year they were just getting the ball was starting to get rolling. That
Yeah,
it's just started basically. But like, yeah,
Psychonauts
I mean,
came out the same year as
yeah, but like the only,
well,
to be honest, down here you would say for Sony in 2 years, basically, you're right, 23 and 24. But like Microsoft had a lot of those in the last 10 years. They had a lot of those, to be honest. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they had some rough years. Like I'm not defending them or anything, but with my opinion on Sony is they got themselves up that creek without the paddle by putting so much stock into these games of service. Who knows how many have been canceled now, and all these teams have restarted work again.
yeah. There was also a rumor that they were working on a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster or remake, something like that, and that is gonna be the most unnecessary remake ever. I'm just calling it. I mean, I
Yeah,
hope it
yeah,
just stays a rumor and it dies as a rumor. But like, once I heard that, I was like, man, come on, guys, no, not even like 7 years old. It's not,
yeah. Well, explain Last of Us 2 to me. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna buy the $10 because I want to pay through the 3 chapters that they cut from the original game. They added 3 more
uh,
chapters.
they got chapters from. I thought they added more content, and that's what I
Well,
heard.
no,
Basically,
they added more content, but in the original game, they had 3 to make it fit on the disc. They cut like 2 or 3 chapters, and now they're back. They were fully done too. They just couldn't fit them on the game.
gotcha. I didn't know that. No.
I was watching about it, so I probably will spend the $10, but later. Um, Normally, but we're almost at a
Yeah.
hour and a half show. We actually do. We are, but we had a lot of news today because of the direct, so that might happen. But going forwards, we're always going to have a game that we're going to deep dive into for our podcast. We actually were going to do Resident Evil 2 and 3
Yeah.
because we both love it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to postpone it till next week
All right.
because we got some discussions and there won't be as much news unless Sony just tries to throw a surprise showcase.
I doubt it. Let's make it bad. Yeah.
I don't. I would lose that bet if I said, but I
Yeah.
said that'd be the
Let me see
only
what I can make
way.
that. You're not even gonna make that bad. I know.
Nope,
But,
I'm not gonna make
yeah.
that bet. But anyway, so we're gonna take a little bit of an outro. First off, if my little thing will load. Yeah, I have a little run a show that helped me follow. But
Gotcha.
yep. But what's the next game you're going to be experiencing this week that you hope
Oh,
to experience?
all right. It's gonna be Tekken 8 next week. It's actually due next week on Friday. Yeah, and then right after that, I know a lot of people are down. I'm excited for it. I'm just gonna play it as like it's a Sunset Overdrive instead of a Batman game. It's Suicide Squad Kill Justice League. So those are my next 2 big games after Prince of Persia. Once I'm done with Prince of Persia. So yeah. What about
Okay.
you?
For me, I've had it since it came out. I am planning on starting Spider-Man 2.
You haven't even started it? Damn. Man,
I bought it the day it came out, but I
what
was
happened?
actually engorged into I ended up getting back into my 2022 game of the year, which
Okay.
was Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Wait, well, not Elden Ring?
That was my
Oh.
2022 game of the year, and I
All right,
got
is
so
Elden
back.
Ring in your runner-up or no for
What?
2022? Elden
So
Ring, was it? Wasn't
Elden
it? Is it was not even your
Elden Ring
runner-up?
was up there, but like I beat it.
Where?
Got
Up
all the.
where? Like fourth place, fifth? Where was it?
I actually, I guess it would be a close second, maybe,
All right, cool. All right.
but
Yeah, play
the one
Code
I'm
Requiem. I had up there.
most fun with was Marvel's Midnight
Well,
Sun. Yep, and I went back and I decided to do a second playthrough to get the remaining achievements and all the DLC. So I 100% that game, and that is a hard game to 100%. I was proud of myself for it.
oh,
So
that's awesome, man. I mean, you kind of like convincing me to, to grab it. It's on sale right now on Best Buy, so I don't know. I might pick it up.
if you do get the Ultimate Edition, you want to get it. You want to just get the because the DLC is actually, even though they're characters, they actually are a full story that go together.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I mean, I've heard only good things about it. I don't think so. Anyone has said anything negative about it, unless people just are not a fan of that genre. But like, not heard any bad thing about it. So,
I
all right.
loved every minute of it. Um, and what's and the other game I'm going to be working on is, which it's next week because it doesn't come out until then, would be Yakuza Infinite Wealth.
I think it's coming out next week. No.
27th.
So that's next week.
Yep.
But I mean, 8 days from now,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so
Uh,
so that's why I said next week. Like this coming week is just me playing
and
Spider
Spider-Man.
Man and probably some multiplayer games with my friends.
Buy Tekken 8, man. Fighting games are awesome.
I will buy Tekken 8, but budget's not allowing me to buy it right now.
All right, man. That's all right, man. That's
All
understandable.
right. Do you want to share your
Another time.
socials?
But yeah, you guys can follow me on Dower at I'm sorry, Dower underscore at I'm sorry, I can't even talk. You can follow me at Dower underscore Hussein, and I'm always there. I'm pretty much always active on Twitter. Like I like to have a friendly, good talk with people. I'm not there for fanboyism, so don't attack me if I say something negative about your platform. Is if I say something negative, the only reason I won't do that is because I want that platform to do better, not because I hate that platform. No. Right. So that's me. You can follow me there on Twitter. Yeah.
You can follow me on X. It's not Twitter anymore. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, it's Twitter.
It's still Twitter. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. But you can find me on there as random underscore name.
Hmm.
I'm
That's a random name.
yeah, yeah, random name. That's as random as you can get. Uh, but anyway, that's it for today's episode of Inside Game Chat. We'll
All
catch you
right.
next time.
I had a good time, man. I hope to see you guys.